Hello, welcome to this exciting episode from FAB Studio. We're Ask the Accountant, which are bringing you day after day, time after time to a podcast. And today we've got a very exciting one. I finally get you on a pod.
Nice.
I feel like, James, you've been ignoring me. So we're going to take this opportunity to talk about Be Counted to Boss.
Yes.
Got it, almost. And we're going to be talking about podcast life, all that sort of stuff. But first of all, introduce yourselves, people, to the world.
So I'm James Goulsborough and I'm a partner of GTA Accounting, and we're based down the south of England between Portsmouth and Guildford.
And I'm Amy Hancock of Hancock and Hastings, accountants and auditors based in Dunstable, Bedfordshire. And hashtag audit Amy. Don't have an award, looking to get one. And also a member or expert on QuickBooks Labs.
A panelist, an expert, whatever you want to call it.
I'm still waiting for the invite, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero user and all that. But we'll come to that in a minute. Right. So, you guys, you have had a successful Series 1 podcast. You're now moving to Series 2. Talk to me the journey. Talk to me why, how. Let's get the gossip. Let's want the juicy gossip of how this podcast came to life.
So we came together for Jerry Williams Accountants Wealth
Yes,
Academy.
that's right.
didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Both started our own practice.
Okay.
We were both getting to grips, navigating the world really, and we're both ACCA members. So the ACCA asked us both independently to do their roadshow,
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did the one in Southampton.
and I did London,
Yeah.
talking about how we started our practice.
Yeah.
And then the ACCA were trying to think of ways to reach more people, reach more members, those that have just qualified and thinking of starting their own practice.
Yeah.
So I put to them about doing a podcast, and Being Counted to Boss
Was born.
was born.
Yeah, it actually was born. And from there, we then tried to muddle our way through what to talk about, really.
Yeah.
So let's say, had some ideas, and then thought, well, actually, we better put this down properly, and it just went from there, really.
Yeah, it's kind of a warts and all, everything that's gone right, everything that's gone wrong.
Yeah,
Things have evolved in the whole year
Well, yeah.
while we were doing Being
When we did the first episode, we were talking about how we started, and halfway through, we're then saying, well, we've ripped it up, we started again. We were looking at taking on another practice. It was all and rebranding. So everything we were talking about, we kind of flipped towards the end and said,
Yeah.
let's be as transparent as possible. Talk about A, our struggles, but B, how we were trying to overcome them.
And it's a journey, right? And you were sharing that journey with the
Absolutely,
listeners.
yeah.
I love that. Talk me behind the scenes. What was this decision maker for you to go, right, podcast is the way forward? Have any of you ever done podcasts before, or?
No, so I left being an employee of a practice in May 2023, and before then didn't have a clue this whole world existed.
Wow.
I knew there was a Countex.
Yep.
I went if my bosses would let me, and that was it. So gradually, as we started to get into LinkedIn and see all the influencers and those willing to share, we realised actually we can give something back to the ACCA members that have just qualified. And as we were doing it live, and we're still learning with our practices, hopefully by sharing we can encourage people to do more, to take that step to doing it themselves. Particularly for me, I'm obviously Audit Amy, and I would like to get more people into audit and stay in audit.
Yeah.
You go through your training, you're in an audit practice, life changes for you, marriage, kids, and you feel like you can't do audit anymore, but you can. There is people willing to share their journey, and I wanted to share my journey. James wanted to share his journey to help others, but also encourage people. There's a massive shortage of accountants, and particularly auditors, that if we can do our little bit to say, yes, it's a massive step to go on your own. It's scary. There are people out there willing to share, willing to help. You are going to make mistakes, but you come out the other side. And I think actually as we go into this year, compared to last year, there's massive changes in both of our businesses.
Massively. I mean, you obviously from an audit perspective, I have the audit background, I've done the training as audit manager, so the two of us together, someone not on audit, maybe I should go for hashtag not audit James, to go hashtag audit Amy.
I'm not sure it would take off, but you know, you can give it a go.
We've got two different sides, how we're setting up practice, one from an audit perspective, me having the audit background, but how I don't want to do it.
And
it's quite interesting how we're coming together to show actually there are common themes, and even though Amy's audit, I'm not, we're still doing the same sort of thing, how we're trying to run it.
I love that. And I wonder if, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I wonder if having Jerry Williams' background and you both being part of that journey. Do you think that kind of inspired you to almost give back more and look at content? Because that's on her
Definitely.
mind a lot, isn't it?
She was so willing to share everything
Very transparent.
that it made us realise we're not competition.
Yeah.
There's always been this,
Yeah.
don't talk to another accountant, they might steal your... There's plenty of businesses out there.
You still see it on LinkedIn now. There's all this one's trying to outdo the other. And I think that's what we were trying to say with our podcast is ignore the sound. Just ignore it
100%.
and focus on what you want to do, but lean on people. That's the most important message I think we were trying to say from our thing as well, wasn't it? And Jerry's very big at driving that as well.
She doesn't get involved in all of the noise.
No.
She knows what she wants and she goes for it. And she's actually been quite good to both of us personally and individually to be a confidence booster.
Yeah,
both of us. And she always knew we would do something like this.
Yeah, apparently she had it earmarked for us, and we were kind of like,
She
really?
knew the personalities of
Yeah,
us
yeah,
and was
yeah.
like, you're definitely going to do all of this.
Tick, and
Yeah,
tick.
exactly.
I love that. So, thinking about it then, you mentioned the word competition, right?
Yeah.
So, podcasts, there's competition there, right? There's Ask the Accountant, there's Six Figure, there's a whole list of them, Grace Hardy, all of them that are in there, right? This whole Studio FAB is about celebrating those podcasts. Do you feel like competition in that industry and in social media, do you feel like there's there, or do you think it's been a collaborative? Because what I'm trying to get out for people, in my world, we should open up as many podcasts as we can. Everyone should get as much opportunity to tell their story. But I think what it does is, I feel like it's a catalyst to help you get talking more, get involved more. Tell me your experience. What's the benefit that you found from having this podcast?
It's definitely opened
And
our eyes. It's definitely opened my eyes.
Do you see it as a competition?
I don't see it as a competition. I think we're all adding value. So you and Johann on Ask the Accountant might talk about some things, and then you've got the Six Figure talking about other things, and Rachel's doing her bit as well now, and what we've done. So we're all adding to the industry a lot more. So I don't necessarily see it as competition. I see it as more that it might spur everyone to be better.
Yeah.
So we might talk about something, or vice versa, and then it might spur you and Johann on, or vice versa. You notice that you're talking about something, and we go, actually, hang on a minute, they're onto something. Can we open this up more?
Yeah.
And that's what I see it as.
Definitely.
We all, I think, in the podcasting space, the podcasts I know and I listen to, we are all different and talk about different things.
Yeah.
And I think for us, because we are still in our early stages. I mean, I'm year 2. You're about year 2 as well.
I remember.
We're still learning. We're like how our practice is going to be. I mean, you go back to being counter to boss last year. I was completely remote. Had no intention of getting an office at all.
Yeah.
Now I'm in an office.
Yeah.
And things have evolved. So I feel like I'm going to be talking about our story.
Yeah.
And I'm not good with the technical side of things. I won't be good. But podcasts are easy to listen to on the go.
Yeah.
We did a YouTube.
We did a video series.
We did a video series, which clearly didn't do as well as the podcast. And I think that's because a lot of people have got things in their ears when they're working now. You're listening, and some snippet might stand out.
Yeah.
Like, I need to look at that bit of
Yeah.
technology, or oh yeah, maybe I should do it in this different way. So just getting hints and tips from people, and the more of that, the better.
Yeah, I think the video series, the ACCA wanted to drive it so it's on their YouTube platform. Fair enough. They obviously thought people would sit down and watch it, but the reality is people like to do things on the go.
Yeah.
And that's something I think we'll go back to. There's, like Amy said, there's just so many things you can talk about, and other people, then it just triggers something in them
Yeah.
when they're out and about, just having a walk, or just having a break or something from their work, and they plug it in, have a listen, and they go something, think, oh, I'll go and do it and look at it myself, rather than actually sit there and actually watch it.
Yeah. You always put it into your schedule, don't you, in podcast? It's like, right, I know it's going to release at this point. I'm going to make sure that it'll be listened to by the next one that gets released.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I'm not going to lie, I mean, at 8:30 on a Monday morning, I've got you guys in my ear whilst I'm walking my daughter to school. And
You are
every
the
time
school-
she's like,
School run.
You're the school run podcast.
she's like, Daddy, you're not paying attention. I'm like,
I actually haven't had you in my ear. I've had you on the phone, so that all of the school mums have been listening to you and Johann talking about Apple and whatnot.
Whatever else we've talked about.
Yeah.
so next time you're on and we comment, you know where we are.
Yeah,
That's
we're in the
school
school
run.
gates.
School run. So back to opportunities. What did you get out of it, do you think, was it just almost a release of someone was finally listening to your story, and it was sometimes therapeutic, right? Just retelling that story. or has anything opened up for you? Just why should someone look into do maybe podcasts of their own?
For me, it was I didn't really know how many people are going to listen to it, but also even if one person listens to it, I feel like I'm able to help them.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of I've always been about. I used to be a sports coach. That was my background. So I've always been used to helping people. So to give something, whether it's 1, 10, 100, it means so much to me. And that's, I think, why I wanted to do this journey. I don't know what you felt like about it.
I mean, as a result of doing the podcast, we have both started mentoring with the ACCA.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we're
Brilliant.
both on there listing
That's a
people.
massive positive step.
Yeah. So we're helping people. I'm helping someone who has gone into a new job role, not looking to go out on their own, but doing something completely different, going from industry to practice. And I think you're...
Well, I'm doing one who has her own and actually started without any clients, which is possibly the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to talk to her and show her again, like drown out the noise on LinkedIn, because she's saying, how are they all doing at LinkedIn? I said, well, 9 times out of 10, they've walked away with their own clients. So when they say, and I don't mean this in a horrible way, but when they say we started with nothing, technically that's right, but actually they've got a client base to work from day one.
Yeah.
She had nothing. And then we're trying to work, and and teach her that that's just the time to do the processes, and the clients will come. And then she's kind of flipped and decided to go back into employment, then decided it wasn't for her, so now she's back on herself again. So it's there to mentor and support and just sort of
But at least she has you as some support, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's a lonely world out there, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. It's more collaboration and competition, and we've got to lean on people and listen to their insights.
I think as a result, we've got a community, haven't we?
Yeah.
Of people, not just ACCA members, all members, and it's kind of off the back of Jerry's academy as well, where we've met people, because that's where we met.
Yeah.
So we've met other people, and I certainly don't like doing the same sort of work that James likes doing. So we share work between us as well, and with other people. So I'm a sole practitioner. My staff are junior bookkeepers. So decisions in business and what avenues we're going to go, I'm on my own.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
So actually doing the podcasting opens up people that will then come up to me, and then I've got another connection that I can help, and then they can help me as well.
I love that. So we spoke beforehand about what our topics are going to be.
Yeah.
And we've drilled you about your podcasting journey. But we said, let's talk about, and you've already kind of mentioned it, the fact that if you were going to start your podcast again, probably a completely different story, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be definitely 101 mistakes I've made since then, and not to do this, not to do that, and...
Don't spill the beans. We need content.
Yeah, leave that bit for your
podcast.
podcast.
Back for all of the mistakes that we've made since in the last 6 months, but positives as well.
Do as I say, not as I do.
But let's talk about if you were going to start one today, and you're mentoring people, you've got that sort of, what's the landscape looking like now? And we're only talking 2 years, right, since you did yours. So how's the landscape changed? Talk to me.
The big thing for me was getting an office. I think coming off the back of COVID, everyone was, we can all work remote, home working. Yeah. And I do think there's a lot of pluses to that. I personally found training, having apprentices really hard remotely.
Yeah.
Yes, you can share screen, but there's nothing like being in person.
No.
And actually, through my career, I learned a lot from being opposite my manager and my boss, and listening to how they spoke to clients and how they dealt with situations. So I would definitely get the office space. I know there's not as many now, but I would definitely get the office space to start with. So that's something that I would look at. Obviously, like the practice certificate, audit qualification, which I'm going to bang on about a lot. Getting that initially as soon as you can when you've got your membership, very important. The longer you leave it, the harder it is to get. Exactly. Make sure you get all your ducks in a row. Like particularly with the ACCA, and probably the same for the ICAW, there's a checklist of everything to go through to get your ducks in a row. Trying to do things later is harder. I'm talking to people who have got their practicing certificate, don't have their audit qualification, and then have to go through that process, and it's hard. Just like going back to doing exams, never do done with exams, but going back after a couple of years, getting those ducks in a row to start with.
Yeah, there's been quite a few who I've been talking to who've messaged off the back of listening to the podcast and questioning whether to go and get their practice certificate, and I've just encouraged them to say, go and do it. It's there as an option if you want to, but also allows them, if they want to stay employed, to actually step up in the firm they're in. I think that's something that's often overlooked. Just because you have a practice certificate doesn't mean you have to be on your own. you can use it as a way of progression in actually the business you're working for. And yeah, we've been pushing that message as well.
Because there's so much more opportunities out there now, right? There's so much pivoting that practices are doing now. They're looking to digitalize, they're looking to find ways to do it, and they're looking for the bright sparks to lead that charge, right? And that's overlooked, isn't it, at the moment?
Absolutely. And I also think that, especially in this day and age, we're finding recruitment so hard, and that's something that I will talk more about. It's been a massive problem for us trying to find the right member, and also the fact we're a small business. Not going to deny that we're not. You know, I might say things on social media that portrays us differently, but we're not. We're small. Therefore, we can be cherry picked by the bigger firms who have the money behind them. Yeah. And we've lost members of staff because of that. And I'm very happy for them, but also the other side of it is
it's tough for you, right?
It's tough, but equally firms are looking to retain staff, and one way is retain it to allow them more progression. And like you say, flipping on, looking at more digital stuff and pushing the practice certificate allows them necessarily to not go on their own and have nothing, but an opportunity to progress further.
Yeah, definitely. When I first started, I felt like there was a small barrier of entry to join. It was a daunting process, but it felt like it was doable. I was still at a place where actually you kind of needed a server realistically to do it, and I was dead against that, right? But it seems like with the software we've got now, that barrier of entry is going down and down and down. And some of the amazing ecosystems we've got in this room, right? You could literally walk to Sage and you could walk away with a practice almost ready built for you, right? From the software.
Yeah.
Do you think that's positive or negative for the industry at the moment? How are you? Because you must be getting a lot of people asking, how do I do that? Is there a point where we're almost asking people or encouraging people too soon?
I think there is a lot out there. It does make it easier to start your practice with the technology that we've got out there. We can go completely paperless from the start. Exactly. You can pick one solution and it has all these add-ons and everything, so you can start. Yes, there's going to be a lot more people out there. There's a lot of noise around it. I like shiny new things. I have signed up. Not materialistic. I have signed up for different softwares, and then on free trial. Yeah, okay, you know me well. It can be quite daunting for people that are like, oh my god, okay, I want to have a remote practice, just me. I want to be paperless. What do I start with? Where do I go? So when we've been doing the podcast, we have been sharing that. What software we've gone with, what we didn't need at the start, what suits us. So we'll be looking to share that in the podcast. But it's not as daunting as people think. It's like the whole AI thing. Oh God. Once you start looking into it and listen to people that have gone through it, that are willing to share. There's so many people willing to share experience. Not us, not just you, loads of people here at FAB today that are talking, that are sharing their software journeys.
Where AI is going as well. It's a massive thing, and just where you would have thought potentially was, like you said, barrier of entry, where they're like, I can't have too many clients. The fact that AI can actually quicken things up means there is the capacity to take on those extra clients without it being what we call burnout, isn't it? So, there is that going on as well. But I also think that you talked about, is it a negative side? There could be a little bit where someone might not have the experience and then just jump straight into it. And that's something I think all of us are out there to be responsible to nurture that person.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the key thing to drive.
And I think we need to keep pushing out that there is support. Because that's the thing, right? When I first started, I didn't even know what Accountex was. I thought, why would everyone go to a place just to talk about accountants, right? Like accountancy, like what was that there for? But actually, the more we keep doing this, the more we keep putting it out there, the better for everyone, isn't it? So you've kind of stolen my next point, which was AI. Do you reckon that there is an opportunity for more people to stay as that one-man band scenario like you are? Is that an enabler? Do you think there's an opportunity there? Because I do feel like one of the benefits we've got in our industry is sometimes we want to encourage that one-man band. You don't all have to be the next PwC, right?
No.
We've got that work-life balance that we can do it. Is AI going to be an enabler for that? Do you see that? Or
100%. Personally, I struggle a little bit when the new thing comes out because I'm not massively technically minded. I'm an auditor. I still love to tick and bash.
Yeah.
Love a spreadsheet. That will never leave.
They still have their place, those spreadsheets. So this is an ad.
Do a whole podcast about Excel. But that's where I turn to people like you and Johann and other people that are then trying it and almost bring it down a level to me. So then I can do it. I need, instead of just jumping in like I probably did last year and did shiny new thing, look at it, go, oh my God, scared. I'm gonna leave it there because I want to use the technology. I feel like it's gonna help me to still grow. But at the same time, I don't want to be massive as well because my clients like the personal approach. They like to be able to WhatsApp me. So if I can use AI and other technology to help with the processing of my day-to-day admin, it's winning. I don't see it as scary.
I think you're right. It allows us to be the one-person band business. Us, we've got a little group of us, and we're now talking about if we don't want particular sectors, and the ones that I specialise in that. So you can actually go off a niche.
Yeah.
Which is something unheard of, rather than before. A few practices where just like we have to have a bit of everyone.
And it was all because of location-based, right? And that's what was holding it back, wasn't it? Yeah.
So AI is going to play a huge part. I just think it will allow basically us to be more at the front.
Exactly. Yeah. Love that. Right, well, unfortunately, we are out of time. But I think what it definitely means is we're going to have to do a Cool Friends episode at some point. We've got to get you mainly to get you a top trump card more than...
I know, I was looking at it going, I didn't make the cut again.
But we will make sure that... Before that, though, this is your opportunity to plug some more. Where can people find you? Where are these podcasts? Go for it.
So I'm Amy Hancock. I'm Audit Amy. Oh yeah, I need to learn how to do that. Being Counted a Boss podcast series 2 will be out.
Yeah, fairly soon.
So
hopefully. Watch this space.
Watch this space. And obviously I am live with Aaron on QuickBooks Labs monthly.
We have no idea when that is either, so...
I just said monthly, just to go with it. We'll announce it.
Yeah, and I'm obviously James Gouldsborough. It's been an honour to be on here, and I'm still waiting for my top friend and invite to other podcasts.
And you're a Xero fanboy, right? So we might be a place for a Xero.
As well.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
split.
Where's the split?
Audit Amy told me.
See, this is where we could have talked
the
about
fence. He likes the fence.
Sit on the fence. No, it's that that topic we had the other day where we were talking about find that software that fits the clients. I'm all for that.
That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear. Well, as always, if you want more content like this, you're already in the right place. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. We'll somehow get this onto your channels as well. So if you are watching on these guys' channels, then why not come and have a look at us? We're Ask the Accountant. Oh, we'd love to see you there. We've got more content coming from FAB 2025 coming your way. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.